Oh.
104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good morning, Houston, Texas. It is Summer Tuesday. I'm to go every show with that. Summer Tuesday.
Summer
It's
Tuesday.
June 25th of 2024. It's the gang. Rule Ryan, Special K, Sam, Eric's out. And we are just powering through another week that's getting us to the 4th of July holiday for a lot of people. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like once June is gone, if you blink, depending on what you've planned, it's almost like you're into August.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Depending on, I think it's based on your vacation in the sense, because I didn't have a vacation planned for June. So I'm really looking forward to July.
And then July is like July, you wipe off those days.
Yep,
and
you have your vacation, then you're like, oh, wow, it's already
I
August.
think a lot of
Yeah.
people are on vacation right now. I mean, I've noticed the roads are definitely not as trafficky.
Yeah, like I said yesterday, when I had gone to the grocery store at 5 o'clock on Sunday, I thought it was really weird. And I thought, okay, well, maybe because it's not school. But yeah, yesterday definitely it was lighter. And whether people are just going to Lake Conroe or Galveston, they're actually jetting out of here. My kids are doing various things. And yesterday, when I was picking up my son from this little camp we put him in, the parents around me were talking because they know each other. Like, so are y'all going to go anywhere? And he was like, well, you know, we have our kids going to this little thing with my parents, and then me and my wife are going to try and take off a little bit in the next couple of days. And I just feel like, yeah, that's pretty much what everybody's doing. In the next couple of days, ... in the next couple of days,
Yeah.
you're going to see a lot of business at the airport. Actually, here's some facts about vacations. Americans take 2.5 vacations every single year. Do you feel like that's true for you?
I have not taken
2.5.
Special K, sit down.
Kevin, not you.
Don't even
Kevin, not
say
you. I mean, you take 2.5 a month.
I feel like because we have a schedule of vacation time because we kind of go when the schools go. I never took vacation like I did until it was a regimen in my work life. Like when I worked at Christie's, my family restaurant, what's vacation?
Oh, yeah. That's
Unless we left to go see my family overseas in Greece. There wasn't like, guys, I'm going to put on the calendar that I'm going on vacation. It just didn't happen. You just worked all the time. And I was like, that's so foreign. It was so foreign to me until I got into radio, which is not a corporate job technically, but it is. I mean, we're a business, right? It wasn't until we had to follow the rules of U.S. holidays that I was like, oh my God, bonus. Monday is off? Like that didn't happen in the restaurant world.
I think times are different also. Like growing up, I don't remember my dad getting that much vacation. We do like a little mini vacation. Like maybe one summer we'd go camping, and then like another summer we had a camper, so we would drive to another state and go camping.
And you would actually be in a camper, like in the dirt.
Oh, yeah. Mom and Dad had a station wagon, and we had a Coleman camper that we had a hitch on.
Oh, wow.
And we would drive it. I remember as a little kid, we went to North Carolina. We went to Kitty Hawk, where the sand dunes are, where the Wright brothers had their
all the way
first
from
flight.
here? Or this when you were living in Pennsylvania? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we would do that. And there was one year where it was just, and we could never do this now, but my mom and dad rented a Winnebago. So it was me, my aunt, my uncle, my two brothers, myself, mom and dad, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother, all in this gigantic Winnebago. And we went all the way down to Florida. That was our first Disney trip.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. By the way, I know I'm not crazy because Ryan just said something, and my son is here visiting today, and he just whispered to me, MJ, what did Ryan just say? What's the word that Ryan just said?
You didn't say brothers. You said brothers.
Brothers? Brothers? Yeah. See, it's like that's because I'm from Pennsylvania.
But I've never heard anyone from PA say it like that. And I grew up there for, 18
I don't
years.
know, it must be like the small town I was from. It's like Sam will say, what are some of the words you say, Sam?
Nothing. I
I
say
hear stuff
everything
like that.
perfect.
Kevin says water. You do not. Water. What was the one you say?
It's the way you say hot dog.
Hot dog.
And
Hot
kitten.
dog.
She says kitten and mitten.
Oh, yeah, and button.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are planning vacations to the beach. 62% of Americans are targeting a beach when they plan this vacation, and the average vacation in the U.S. is costing $1,743.
I think that's cheap.
$1,743. Yeah, because I don't know how many people you're with. What are they counting that as? You know,
Is that per person?
Is that
No,
total?
that's the
There's
whole
no
trip.
way. That's 4 people, 5 people. Is that per person? Yeah, good point. Is that per person?
Not everybody's going to a major destination. When you factor
Absolutely.
in,
But-
a lot
But a
of this
major
is just like I
destination
said,
could be
camping or
what you call it. The Outer Banks could be a
Right.
major destination. Disney is a major destination.
Yeah.
Well,
I
it's
feel like
definitely
Disney
not
per
1,000 for
person
Disney.
is over that if
I
you're
was
there
gonna
for 5
say,
days.
the hotel stay
Yes, right now it costs $150 to go into Disney, just one person
for 1 day.
for 1 day.
That's what I'm saying.
One
that
ticket
price
per day.
is actually low.
Yeah, my cousins live in L.A. and she sent me the grid for Disneyland because I was looking at it because she was going to send her kids and we were talking about it. She goes, yeah, here it is. And it staggers different days. Like it could be $142 on a Wednesday, but then it's $151 on that Friday. And then it goes up to like $165 on Saturday per person per day.
Yeah, because
That's
people are going to
steep.
pay for it. So
I mean, because you have to save for those trips.
I think that something else like that is something that I absolutely have to do. I'm just going to pay it and bite it. That's the ski
Right.
slope. You know how
yes.
it's like $250 to get on Breckenridge, and you know Keystone's probably at least $175.
You got to
So
buy
when
those
does
lift
that stop,
tickets.
though?
How else are you going to get up there?
You can't.
yeah,
snoo-
exactly.
Yeah, you have no choice. You came here to ski.
Yes.
You want to go up the mountain? You better give us some money.
You can't ski past what month? Like March? Is that when it's
no,
over?
they were selling tickets into April this year.
No way, really?
Colorado. You know that's 12,000 feet up there. So
Oh, yeah.
a little chillier.
I was,
well, you were.
I was
you
just
were
there. Yeah, the dumbest thing I ever did. I ran a 5K in Colorado, and I run that much all the time. And I get done, I'm like, why do I feel so horrible? And then I realize it was the elevation.
Yeah, the altitude.
Yeah, and that can actually make some people sick. My mom can't ever go
Yeah.
skiing with me in Colorado because she gets altitude sickness.
And that's something I learned, Kevin, when I was at a charity event and there was a family there was a live, when you go to charity events, there's all these silent auction items, which means you're going to write down what you want to pay for this item and then maybe you'll win it until somebody outbids you. When you have live auction, that's when those people are in the crowd and they have like the flashlight and they're like the person, you have a card and you have a number, like Kevin's number would be 92 and Sam's number would be 91 and Ryan's number 90 and the person's like 90 says 10,000 90 whatever. So there's people who buy those trips as groups because sometimes you can get a really good steal on those deals.
Yeah.
They'll
Yes,
tell you what
definitely.
that trip is really worth and then if it doesn't generate the money, you've gotten a great deal. There was a family that had bought that trip and it was to stay in this, I don't know, some great palace on top of a mountain in Colorado. It was great. And she said, oh my God, don't bet on that one unless you are used to the altitude. Every single one of them was in the hospital.
No!
Because they were so sick and they didn't know why because they weren't used to it. And it was such a high altitude for this house. It wasn't just like going to like, I don't know, wherever the regular touristies are sitting. They're up in a mountain house.
I just remember
They
on
said
the
they spent
slopes.
3 days in the hospital between like the 10 of them. Somebody was in the hospital in
yeah.
those 3 days.
If you're
Because
not
of the
used to that kind of
altitude.
altitude,
Oh, my
and on the
God.
slopes,
Imagine
a
that?
lot of them, they'll
No.
only let you have one beer when you get to the top. Like alcohol hits you a lot harder when you're up at that elevation.
I've never been stopped on that, but
Is that what your
Yeah,
Camelback
that's
doesn't have
crazy.
water? It has beer.
actually no. You really do need
gotta
water
have
in
water.
there, but in your pockets because you have such a big jacket, you can put a beer in each pocket easily.
That's
I'm
true.
talking
in
about-
the inside pockets too.
Oh, yeah.
There's, like,
I'm not talking about
pockets everywhere.
smuggling beer. I'm talking about like when you get to the top of the slopes, the ski lift. They
Yeah,
would, they
I
would
know what
only
you're
serve
saying.
you one.
Well, the line's usually so long, you can usually only get one anyway.
Yes, true.
So-
As you're all trying to dry out.
Yeah, and warm up. Usually, it's
Yeah.
so dang cold at the very top and
cold.
windy.
Well, we don't have to worry about that until spring break, but it's
No, can't wait.
bring your kid to work day for me today. MJ, say hi.
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 Hi, MJ.
How old are you now, MJ?
Still 9.
Still now.
MJ is very excited to come here, and he thought it almost wasn't going to work out because he has a really long day. He has like a camp day today. We found a camp for him to go to, which
What kind
is
of
like a day camp,
It's an invention camp.
an invention camp.
That sounds fun.
And so he's going to be going to this. One of our neighbors told us about it, and
Yeah.
like legit the last minute.
So what are you
I
inventing
wonder if there's
today?
any extra spots. There was one for him.
I don't know, but all I know that is yesterday we took apart a robot and we saw what's inside it. Like we broke cables, wires. We took out batteries,
That's fun breaking stuff.
That's cool.
It sounds really fun.
And then
So,
we
and then what, baby?
and then we built something from out of a bag in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, and cool, whatever the items were in the bag.
Yeah.
They had them build stuff with that. So it's kind of this really fun camp my neighbor found. And he wanted to come to Try It Tuesday so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him yesterday, well, you have camp, so you can't. He was so devastated. Now, and he was like, I can't go to Try It Tuesday.
So what is on Try It Tuesday? That's at 8 o'clock this morning,
well,
by
we
the way.
can't tell you what it is, but we can tell you what it feels like.
It's kind of squishy.
It's squishy.
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 And we have to eat it.
Oh.
Is it edible?
Yes, it is.
It is?
It
Okay,
is
good.
edible.
Don't make me sick, MJ.
So he's
No,
going to
it's,
be.
honestly, it's very yummy.
Is it very yummy? Because we've never
Ooh, okay,
tried this
good.
ourselves, but we've heard of it being yummy.
Yeah.
So we hope it's yummy.
He's like, it's the best thing I've ever
We're
had.
not
We've
sure.
never tried it.
So I told him, yes, you can come for Try It Tuesday. And then Tassos, my husband, will come pick him up for little inventors camp after that.
That sounds like so much
Fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And actually, of these little day camps, for parents that know how expensive these day camps are, this was very reasonably priced. Some of these camps are like $400 a week. This was less than $3.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, and they have them from 9 to 3.
Oh, wow.
That was a really big score. And it's inventors camp? Like, my kid's going to sound smart? Talking about deconstructing robots? That's
Yeah.
awesome. Anyway, today on the Roula and Ryan Show, we've got revenge at 7 o'clock. Somebody was wrong, that they made it right, and we're all going to hear about it. We also, like I said, 8 o'clock, Try It
Revenge.
Tuesday, where we also have Wallows tickets for the first time today. And that's a Wallows situation that's happening on Friday, guys.
Yes.
Wallows is already happening on Friday.
And
It's an exclusive event for us.
That's the key word, exclusive. This
Yeah.
is only for KRBE
Whoa, price.
listeners.
Hit the cha-ching button.
Yeah.
Get that free plug.
You got your son doing the commercials now.
Because he listens to the station a lot. Coming up next, an actor from Pirates of the Caribbean was killed by a shark in Hawaii, y'all.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about this in Scoop. MJ. Isn't that scary? Here's your weather for today.
All right, so it looks like lots of sunshine, high in the mid 90s, but the heat index is rising. National Weather Service puts Houston under a heat advisory today, and this advisory is from noon till 8 p.m. So I will not personally be out there doing one of my runs today because the heat index is going to be 108 or higher is what they're saying right now. So it's going to be really, really high. Right now it's 79 degrees, and 612 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Now, y'all ready?
This is Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRBE.
Just letting you know, Eric is out today, and in his spot is my son, who's 9. MJ's here. MJ, say hi.
Hello, yo.
We were talking about a cat, cat or cats. We'll have to discuss that.
There's a
after the
garbage
scoop.
cat here.
Yeah, so what's his name going to be, MJ?
Big fat Gus.
Big Fat Gus, even though he's not fat at all.
Right.
And he's losing a lot of fur.
And it may be a female. It's
We're
fine.
not sure if it's a girl. Okay, so this is sad and tragic and terrifying because you think to yourself, well, somebody's going to be out there. And it's like so cliche. Of course, somebody got eaten by a shark while they were on a surfboard. Like, this is the stuff we see in movies, right?
You don't think
And
it's
this is
gonna
a
happen to
movie
you, though?
actor, exactly.
Yeah.
An actor from Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides was killed by a shark on Sunday in Hawaii. His name is Tamayo Perry. He was only 49 years old. He has also acted in Blue Crush. He's like one of the background guys.
Okay, so he's a surfer, a stunt surfer.
Yeah, he was in an episode of Hawaii Five-O's reboot. He had a small role in Blue Crush, and he was on Stranger Tides. Now, he is a professional surfer who also worked as a lifeguard. And he had been surfing in Oahu's North Shore on Sunday morning. And that's
a rough place to. I mean, you've got to be a pro surfer there.
He
visited.
was. He is a pro surfer.
That's
Yeah.
that's
And
a pro
lifeguard.
surfer.
That's
And
a
lifeguard.
serious place to surf.
His body was found by local surfers missing an arm and a leg.
Oh my God!
Gross.
Wow.
The mayor of Honolulu said it is a tragic loss. Tamayo was a legendary waterman and highly respected here. He grew up right over here, and he was just a great member of our ocean safety team. You get a call like this on a Sunday afternoon, it's very hard to imagine, especially because he's experienced and he knows.
But do they know if the shark killed him or he just maybe got knocked out and the shark ate him after he was dead?
Well,
I mean-
obviously they would say the cause of death would be the shark mauling because that's how they found him. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that works. I guess they could do autopsies and see if something else
Like
happened
that North
to him.
Shore is very rocky in that area in Oahu.
But
and
again,
it's like
he's a pro surfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not just some regular old tourist. It's
That's
just,
terrifying.
here we are. There's a picture of him, so you might be able to recognize
Place a
him
face.
if he's Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, if you're a super fan of all those. But it wasn't like he was a main player that I could say he played XYZ person.
Okay.
So that's very sad and tragic news, and it just goes to show it doesn't matter how seasoned you are or how much you think you know, you can do this. It's terrifying. All right, as we all know, Pat Sajak, after 40 years, has left the wheel at Wheel of Fortune. And the story when he first announced his retirement was that Vanna White was going to go hard for more money because she is the staple that's left behind after they've
she
both
could be
been
the
on
good
together.
transitional device. So you still got a little bit of what was there.
Right, and that was the plan as Ryan Seacrest is taking over, and he's making his hosting debut this fall. It turns out now that in the negotiations that Vanna had been going through, she really wanted a giant bump in pay. She did sign a 2-year contract to stay on Wheel of Fortune until through the 2025-2026 seasons. But there are reports that just, I guess, in whatever they've been doing now to get together and do some practice runs, they're just not vibing.
Oh, connection's not there.
Really?
So one source says that maybe she wants to walk away sooner. It would be difficult to do this job without Pat Sajak. But again, she is her own person and she still has money to make.
You could totally
she still
see
needs
him-
to make money.
That's what I was thinking. No offense. What are you going to go to
Hit the
next
letters.
and get paid for?
Letters.
Yeah, no kidding. I
Right.
could totally see him putting like Kelly Ripa in there.
No, Kelly Ripa's not taking that job. Are you
Why
crazy?
wouldn't she do that?
Yeah,
That is
I
the
don't
biggest
think so.
step down ever.
No, it's
Hosting-
prime time
hosting a
and it's
TV
syndicated.
Hosting a TV show that's syndicated with her name first, and she's going to go hit buttons.
With her husband.
Which, by the way, only has 1 million viewers per week.
Yeah,
and
but
Wheel
nobody
of
knows that.
Fortune, like 40 million.
They don't pay attention to that.
Put
Is it
Camila
40 million?
Cabello
I don't
up
think
in
so.
there.
No.
Wheel of Fortune, how many people watch that a week?
Use
I'm
Dua
not gonna-
Lipa,
let's
and then
find
I can
40
fill
million
in.
people, Ryan. If Wheel of Fortune was getting 40 million
know,
people a week,
How many?
that is like halfway to that's more than the Oscars. That's halfway to Super Bowl
Yeah.
numbers.
I mean,
maybe
maybe.
2.5, maybe 4, but
They
not
keep
40.
them on in like all the nursing
Okay,
homes.
so every
and
night they have 8.5 million viewers.
Okay, well,
That's
8.5
More
million.
than that's more than 8 times her current audience. Yes, she would do it
honey,
for the
Great
money.
Day Houston was beating Regis and Kelly when it was on, and then the 9 o'clock spot in Houston for local versus Kelly and Mark.
Yeah.
I think the 9 o'clock spot, the local has beat that. Just because it's a national show doesn't mean everyone's watching it.
Just saying, it would be a
It's just
smart
there.
move for him
True.
to put Kelly in.
No, it's not at all. Why? That is no. I don't agree with that at all. That would be
Have
so
they
weird.
ever worked together?
Yeah, it was Ryan and Kelly. I mean, Kelly and Ryan.
Kelly and Ryan.
What?
They had a show
Yeah,
together
after Michael
for like
Strahan.
5 years.
We watched it. We sat here and we watched it together.
Yes, it only lasted though. What, maybe a year?
No, I think that
No,
Kelly
around for a
Kelly
while.
was
It was like 5
Kelly and
years.
Michael Strahan after Regis retired, and then after Michael went to Good Morning America, then it was Ryan Seacrest for I think like a good 5 years, right?
No.
And now it's Mark.
way.
Oh yeah, because she's been on since 2001.
Well,
or
I
2000.
remember her with everybody else, but not.
Ryan Seacrest. Ryan
Yeah.
Seacrest is the guy that
6
you want
years.
to put in there.
Oh, my
they did
gosh.
6 seasons together.
Yeah, as the utility guy who's just going to get the announcing done and it's safe and easy. Just throw it to Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see the year though.
But forget wanting to get any personal stories out of him. Doesn't work.
No.
Right.
He's
He
just a
won't.
great reader.
I don't think he's going to wake up and say, this morning my hair wasn't perfect when I got out of bed. Everybody's human. We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Right.
All right. Speaking of celebrities, the Hollywood Walk of Fame is a very famous thing that people, when they go to Hollywood and to Los Angeles, it's a sightseeing thing, it's a tourist thing. And that is something you can apply for. They don't necessarily approve you every year, but you pay for it. And if you get approved, then you do your big ceremony of, I got my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, this year, finally, Robert Englund, who brought us Freddy Krueger to life, is going to get his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, along with John Carpenter, who brought us Halloween. John Carpenter's Halloween. Also, Prince is going to get his star. Jane Fonda. Jessica Chastain, Colin Farrell, Emilio Estevez, Nia Long, Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls. Let's see, South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone get their star this year.
Oh, cool. They deserve one.
Depeche Mode, the B-52s, Green Day, Busta Rhymes, George Strait, and Keith Urban.
Well, people don't
all
realize-
going to get those stars.
They're not awarding them. You have to pay for your own
I just said
star.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's
You apply for it and
Yeah.
you pay for it.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily going to happen the year you apply for it.
How long do you
That's
have to?
a lot of
so
celebrities
you
getting
could-
their stars.
You could wait for years, right?
Yeah, Fantasia's getting her star also. Let's see, did I miss anybody else? Bill Nye is getting his star. Oh, Sherry Shepherd. Oh, God. If there is one celebrity that I will eye roll and immediately, if I can change the channel, I will change it, it's Sherry Shepherd's show. Sherry Shepherd took over for Wendy Williams.
Yes.
And I cannot with her. Sherry Shepherd was also a View member at the table.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then she did her own. She's
I
doing her own
cannot.
thing.
You know why I can't stand her? And this is how telling it is for how I don't know y'all, she made such a big deal about trying to adopt this baby with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she decided to end her marriage, she told her husband, "That's your baby, it's not mine."
What?
And she left her kid.
What?
Yes, I cannot stand her for this. People seem to forget.
Who could walk away from their own child?
And it was so dramatic. Like her husband was going after her for alimony. It was a very messy, dirty thing. And she was like, "I didn't want that baby. You wanted to adopt that baby."
Oh, my.
Oh, here's Sherry Shepherd. Hi, I'm so funny. I have a show. Like, I cannot with her. I just cannot with her. And she is on a repeat of Friends that when it comes on, I get so annoyed that it's that
You
episode.
changed the channel.
Yeah, it's where she's playing like a museum liaison or something, and they're in the lunchroom, and the Joey is trying to sit at lunch with Ross, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm going to sit over here. I'm a paleontologist. We don't sit with the museum folk." And it was this whole thing. Sherry Shepherd's one of the characters in that scene. And I'm like, ugh, Sherry Shepherd. You can look it up. Sherry Shepherd's son. She was like, "No, not me. You have him."
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly, MJ. Who's Sherry Shepherd? She's getting a star. There's like dramatic stories you forgot happened or they got buried because maybe you don't pay attention to that celebrity enough. She's not a celebrity that you would follow all the time. Since she ain't no Taylor Swift. MJ?
Oh, wow.
How do you feel about Taylor Swift right now, MJ?
1,000,000% bad.
1,000,000 times % bad. Now, why is that? Because tell everybody why. Because we don't want the Swifties to go against you, my 9-year-old child.
I don't care. Every single time when I go in the car, the second I put my seatbelt on, they play Taylor Swift. Come on. Why Taylor Swift? Change it for once.
Amen.
That's what I told you 2 weeks ago.
My God.
I was about to play a song that wasn't Taylor Swift. And the girl's like, "Please, can you just play this one first?" And MJ just put his head in his hands and looked out the window and said, "I can't wait for the day that Taylor Swift's not famous anymore."
Right?
Listen to the kids, bro.
But
At
it's
least
not
this one.
going to happen anytime soon.
No, I don't think
She's
so, buddy.
super famous, buddy. Super
You're gonna
famous.
Yeah, you got a couple more years.
you're gonna have to commandeer that stereo and just demand the front seat.
Yeah, he wants me to put him in the front seat, and I told him he's not ready yet. Like, he's not allowed to be in the front seat yet, right? But he's like, "Mommy, please get us in the front seat." It says on the thing in the state of Texas, you have to be 13 to sit in the front seat.
Ah.
And
Because the
Elena's
airbags.
11.
Elena's 11, but, where the car's full, I was sitting in the front
Right.
seat. I don't
I
know what else
thought-
to put y'all.
I thought it was also weight.
It's
based.
weight and height, but he's not tall enough. Let me see what the thing is.
Neither
Am
am
I
I,
crazy
man.
that at 9?
Never have been.
Oh,
never will be.
Yeah.
I don't. Santiago, my baby. Sorry, real quick. Thinking of that because I always joke he's a short king because he was in like
A short king.
So a short king is a guy that is on the shorter side instead of saying that he's like a shorter. You just call him a
shorty.
short king.
Short king.
okay.
Gives him power, and so Santiago was like in the really low percentile because he was a little short king. And we did his 15-month checkup yesterday, and now he's in the 50th percentile.
There you go.
Oh, baby!
Whoa, he's growing.
Okay, oh my God, wait, I think you're right, MJ. Look at what I just looked up. The National Safety
you-
Council recommends
sit?
that a child be over 4'9".
Oh my God.
How tall are you? You're
Dang it.
4'10". We just found out he's 4'10".
Oh,
And you could
Today
be
your
over
life
12
may
years old.
change.
And it says there's no official weight limit for sitting in the front seat, though some states have set laws on this. The National Safety Council says you have to be over 4 feet 9 inches tall and weigh more than 80 pounds, which, oh my God, MJ, I think it's your lucky day.
Woo!
I think you can sit in the front seat, buddy.
What did I tell you? I'm wrapping it up. Bye.
Okay, good. I'm
Like,
very
let's go
excited for
sit in
you.
the front.
All right, coming up next, if you are hoping you could travel, but maybe your budget's a little too thin for that, there are a lot of people on tight budgets that are choosing destination dupes. What is that? We're going to tell you about it next on The Roula and Ryan Show.
104.1 KRBE. Back to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Okay, here we are heading into vacation season.
Vacation mode, V mode activated. You know, a lot of people are having a problem with wanting to go somewhere versus being able to afford to go somewhere. Maybe you can go somewhere for just a couple of days and you wonder if that, like in y'all's opinion, do you have to make sure it's a lot of days to make it worth it? Like 2 days versus 5. You're like, no, unless I can go for 5, I'm not going.
I mean, if it's your big vacation, you've got the week off. Yeah, that's a big factor.
Because, every day you're there is more money.
Yes.
Like I always say,
absolutely.
like, my dream would be to be able to just take off for the summer and go just stay in Europe with family. But every day I'm there, it costs money.
Oh,
You
it's
have to
really
have food
expensive to
and
be
hotel
over
money.
there.
So a lot of people on tight budgets are choosing destination dupes instead of going to Paris because you really want to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Like that's your dream to go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower. They go to Vegas instead and they stay at the Paris hotel and they go into the Eiffel Tower there. Which, is a good alternative, but it's not the same.
No.
A survey asked people what destination dupes they'd be interested in. The top dupes are the U.S. Virgin Islands instead of the Bahamas, which to me, I feel like that's the same. You're still packing away to go to some beautiful destination. How
It's
is the Virgin
absolutely-
Islands? Is it cheaper than the Bahamas?
No, not at all.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
but
That's
it's
kinda
America.
shocking.
You don't need a passport to go there.
Okay, that's a good point.
You don't, but you know what? It's expensive, and it depends on what island you go to in the Virgin Islands, but I thought the Bahamas was way cheaper than the Virgin Islands.
I've never been, and I don't even know how long that flight is. Like, is that
It's in the Caribbean. I mean, it's like, I want to say
3 hours probably?
The
from
Virgin
here?
Islands are 80 miles away from Cuba.
Okay. Another dupe is going to Memphis when you really want to go to Nashville, because Nashville's gotten really expensive now because it's such a tourist destination. Go to Memphis, I guess, and go hang out with Elvis. Also, a little side note, if you want to go to Athens and see the Acropolis, the Parthenon is the temple at the top of the Acropolis, you go to Nashville because there is a 1/3 replica there exactly as it is.
They duplicated it?
Nashville, Tennessee has a Parthenon because there's a whole story about why it's there. People who want to go to London are choosing to go to Belfast, Ireland, because it's cheaper to go to Ireland than it is to go to England, I guess. London, I've always heard, is a very expensive city. I've looked into going for Christmas break, like a couple days in the Christmas break. It was like $560, the cheapest, crappiest looking hotel I could find, $560 a night. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Kevin, you've been to Ireland.
Yeah,
You've been to
I
Belfast?
I did Ireland, and I did not hit Belfast. It was a couple other spots, Kilkenny, and it was a long time ago. Now I'm going to Scotland this time. But I'm still flying through London, just not getting out of the airport, just getting on out of there.
Do you have to switch from Gatwick to Heathrow in your travel plan? I feel like
Thank
forever
goodness
that was the case.
I do not have to go through Gatwick. If you ever see Gatwick as an option, don't do that.
Yes.
just avoid the Gatwick. It is the wildest airport I've ever been in. It makes no sense.
Because they
It's
make
really,
you
really
if you look at these itineraries, guys, you have to really look closely, especially if you're a newbie European traveler. They will make you fly into Gatwick, take some kind of transfer to get to Heathrow and fly out of there to go to the next part of your leg. I'm like, no, thank you. I need to land somewhere where I can just go to the next terminal inside that airport and get to the next city as the connector.
Even in Gatwick,
it's too stressful.
Doing that connection in Gatwick to another plane was still a nightmare. It makes no sense how that airport is laid out and the doors that they have you go through. Like at one point, I was going through some mysterious door on the 3rd floor, and they're like, "Oh no, that's where you go now to go on to your international destination." I'm like, "What, that weird door over there that no one's going into?" yeah, that's the one. Ended up missing the next plane anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's if you're a new European
Stupid
traveler,
American.
there are a lot of things you need to know about the connections of where you're going. If you have a choice to not go through Charles de Gaulle Airport in France and you can go through Frankfurt, Germany,
so bad.
do Frankfurt.
Yes.
Frankfurt, Germany
Charles de Gaulle
is a great airport.
It is.
the most confusing airport.
It's a nightmare of an airport.
It is, and nobody helps you. They don't help you.
If you are going over to, say, like Paris on 4th of July week.
Well, that's one thing. If you end in Charles de Gaulle, that's one thing. Don't transition through
But what
Charles
I was
de
going to
Gaulle.
say, that is a nightmare. Y'all, we were in that airport. We had to get there 6 hours before our flight, and we almost missed our flight. That's how long the lines are to get processed in and out of that airport. It is a disaster.
I just feel like I've skipped it for years, and not a lot of people have an opportunity to say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Europe this summer." But eventually, you will pull the trigger as maybe a bucket list item. We're just trying to, help you off at the pass. Here are some things you need to know. Don't do that. And also, in relation to vacation, apparently, guys, you have vacation swimwear and you have domestic swimwear. Do you believe this?
Yeah, I think so. I bought new
Yes.
trunks because I'm going
I always
to
want
be
to
going on
buy
a big
new
trip.
things anyway, so I do believe this.
But it's the kind you're going to wear on vacation. Like,
Yeah, mine
can-
gets a lot smaller when I get out of the United States.
Special
Yeah.
K
You buy
probably
a
wears the
cooler-looking
man
suit.
Speedo on
Yes.
his European travels
Yes.
versus I'm going to Dewey Beach in Delaware so my mom and dad always wear my trunks.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
men, a small percentage of men have started wearing bikini bottoms that are so small, they basically are women's bikini bottoms.
No.
Men traditionally wear swim trunks or board shorts. Some guys choose to challenge norms by embracing fashion freedom and opting for skimpy bikini bottoms as a means of self-expression. They're aiming to break gender stereotypes and assert their unique style on the beach. Tiny Speedo for men or women's bikini bottom.
Now,
Same
I
I
thing.
have
will
never
say-
seen a straight guy doing that. Like that's,
You will in
that's
Europe.
not happening in
You
Texas.
absolutely
Yeah,
will in Europe.
Europe,
In
yeah.
Europe, you will
Yeah,
see
but not
like,
here.
and they don't care if they're not in shape. You will see like a 300-pound dude in a Speedo. Like
That is
they absolutely do not care.
I have to wish Ethan a happy birthday, by the way. He's turning 11 and he's listening right now. Thanks, parents, for raising him right on the Roula and Ryan show. Happy birthday, Ethan.
Sam.
Have the best year.
happy birthday, Ethan.
So I don't know. Somebody said we have our facts wrong about the U.S. Virgin Islands, and I guess they're the comparison to Bahamas. But I don't know. I have not been to
I
the U.S. Virgin
stayed-
Islands, so I'll just take whatever I'm reading as the word for
I
it.
stayed on St. Thomas. This is like, 11 years ago. And it was expensive. It was really expensive.
Well, all
like
vacation's
way
expensive.
more than the Bahamas.
You're not going to find, like, I mean, a budget vacation. Hey, I'm going to Galveston instead of Cabo.
right.
Now that's a budget vacation.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
Okay, so it is going to be hot today, y'all. Talking about temperatures in the mid-90s, but the National Weather Service has put Houston under a heat advisory today from noon until 8 p.m. They say the heat index will be near or greater than 108 degrees today. So if you don't have to be out there, don't be. Texas A&M baseball made program history, but the Aggies fell 2 runs shy of college baseball immortality.
Bummer.
Top-rated Tennessee defeated number 3 A&M 6-5 last night in the title game of the College World Series. Yeah, that was such a bummer. But, man, what a great season for A&M. Gas prices are falling in Houston, Texas, and this is usually a time when gas prices spike up high over the 4th of July holiday weekend, but not now. The price of a gallon of gas in Houston has fallen over 18 cents in the last month. The average price for a gallon of gas in Houston right now is $2.89. They say the reason is right now more people are driving more fuel-efficient cars. All signs point to an oversupply as fuel stockpiles build up in the face of what they say is a soft demand. Gas prices are at their lowest in the last 3 years. They say it's not
That's a
been this
shocker.
low.
We never get that story before 4th of July. It's always like
No.
gas prices are starting to soar.
Yeah,
Because
they
of
usually
everything on a road
gouge
trip.
right before you go into that 4th of July holiday. And this is kind of an interesting study that came out about Houston. The Kinder Institute's State of Housing Survey shows that home ownership in Houston, Texas is becoming increasingly out of reach for many people. Home prices in Harris County have quadrupled since 2018. So they're up 43%. And yet purchasing power for a median income household has only risen 1.2%.
And what do you say, Kev, about interest rates versus the house?
Versus the house, the interest rates.
You marry the house.
Yeah. You just date the interest rate.
Right.
Because you can always get a new interest rate once they go down, if they go down. But will they go down? We'll never know.
Apparently they're supposed to
We're
go
all
down.
waiting.
So this study, they said this year, the Kinder Institute surveyed Fort Bend and Montgomery counties for the first time and found that those 2 counties added virtually the same number of homeowners as Harris County, despite only having 1/3 of the population. So more people moving to Fort Bend and Montgomery counties right now.
Probably get more for your money.
Oh, heck yeah. A lot more bang for your buck. That's what's going down in H-Town.
Kind of next, revenge. If somebody's messed with you, you got them back, and they don't know you got them back, you come to us and we find out all about it. Next on the Roula and Ryan Show.